joining us back here again live at Humber College to witness the Humber Hawks taking on the Niagara Knights women's volleyball team. Beside me is Connor Forrest. And Connor, as we previously discussed, we have a great match in our hands. The girls are ready to go. They're just doing their pregame warm-ups. What can we really expect again in this matchup? I think we have to mention the captain, Talia Hanneman, who's been sensational this past season.
Absolutely. From the Hawks, you can really expect to see them establish her right off the get. But another thing that this Hawks team has really done is really establish their middles. Number 13, I believe. Number 13, Alexandra Newman, has been sensational. When you establish that middle early on in the game, it opens up the floor like nobody's business, Mark. And that will allow this Hawks team to really run their offense.
And you mentioned Natalia Newman, Connor, the veteran of Kitchener, Ontario, and a veteran player sitting currently out as a fourth-year student. How pivotal is that fourth-year presence and that veteran presence on this Hawks team?
The experience is definitely big. You know, I mean, when you go 8 years in a row and win the OCAA championship, she's been a part of every single one of those runs. So that experience and maintaining such a record is going to be key when helping out the younger players. But a very experienced team that this Hawks team finds herself in.
And like we said, this is a very youthful team from both spectrums, the Knights and the Hawks, but we'll stick with the Hawks currently. They are a very youthful team. Only 3 upper-year players being in their 4th and 5th and by most likely final years here at Humber College. So it is interesting to see how those veteran players, like I said, will influence the youngsters once they take off and evidently graduate.
Absolutely. There's six women on the floor, Mark, but there's many more on the bench, and they communicate as one. They're a team, and whether you're on the floor or not, leadership will have a role to play. And that looks like the starting lineup for the Humber Hawks. And so we're about to get ready to go. And here we go, Mark.
And the whistle has been blown as the girls approach the court. The attacking players, the attack line, the end lines, the sidelines, we're all ready for a great game of volleyball here. So stick tight, fans, and be ready for the play to continue. As the girls approach the court.
All right, official's just going to check everybody's rotation. It looks like, it looks like Alexandra is going to come right out. And number 2, Kyla Wilkins, libero, will come in to pass for her. She's been great this year.
And I'm glad you brought up the libero position, Connor. How important is that libero position? For many of our listeners, they may not know that is a fairly new position integrated into the sport of volleyball. The FIVB actually confirmed the libero position only after 1998, so still is a relatively new position in volleyball. And the game has begun.
Well, there you see right off the first serve, a shank coming in from the Hawks. So the libero, very key. She's not just the best passer on the team, defense especially, but she is responsible for that entire back row to start off with a good pass.
And the ball is served back into the Hawks end. The Hawks defending as a spike back. Still kept in by the Knights.
And right off the get, Mark, they're going to go to Thalia Hanneman, and they're going to establish her right off the get. Hanneman with her first kill.
Hawks serve the ball back into the Knights end. And a great serve coming from the Hawks.
As we talked earlier, this Knights team has struggled with serve receive, and when you're on the defensive end, that's where it all starts with the good pass, because if you don't have that, you can't run yourself an offense, and we're starting to see it right in the beginning of the first set.
Hawks continue play as the Knights continue to defend, serving that ball, going for the strike. Hawks retrieve that ball. Ball still rallying there. Good dig from the Knights.
And a great play from those Knights. It's going to get shanked by Kyla Wilkins there. A little bit of miscommunication, but a good rally from both teams.
And we can see here, Connor, from the replay, what a beautiful strike coming from the Knights. Low to the bottom end of the court. And again, very difficult for the ball to be defended there by the Hawks.
Well, there's an old saying, Mark, serves have to go in to win. And right there you see the first unforced error of the game coming in from the Knights.
Hawks serve the ball back into play. Knights defend. Generating that dig, serve back into the Hawks end. Nice little flick from the Hawks, but solid defense coming by the Knights. Again, still ball is up in the air, still in play. Great communication coming from the Knights defense as they go for the strike.
And that's a big throwdown from Linnea Davis. And you see there, that Knights team really capitalizing on the free ball.
We mentioned that outside hitter, Linnea Davis, the fourth year from Niagara College, standing at 6'1", a native of Brampton, Ontario, not too far from Humber College, as a matter of fact. And she's been tremendous this game up until this point. Looking forward to seeing her for the rest of the match.
And right there, fantastic serve from Linnea Davis. Forces the party ball, and then an easy tip over in the middle.
And speak of the devil, right, Connor? We were just mentioning of how pivotal she's been this game, and she just keeps on generating more and more points here as the Knights go to serve that ball.
Second unforced error of the match. Second unforced service error for this Knights team. And right there, giving the Hawks 2 easy points. And that's such a momentum killer too, Mark, when you miss those serves, especially when your team gets on a roll like that.
Well, absolutely, Connor. You know, you want to get good rallies going, and when you have forced errors like that could easily be avoided, it isn't the greatest. But the Hawks are coming back. Solid defending coming from the Hawks front line.
Alexandra Newman, she's been great. She stands at 5'10", but she's got a vertical that makes her look like she's 6'3".
And we can see, although these players are a very youthful squad and a rookie team, the communication from the attack line has been great, as the Hawks convert on points on that one. Current scoreline stands 6-4, Humber over Niagara.
And you can tell right off the first set, this game is going to be won at the service line.
Hawks serve the ball.
And Elizabeth Deacon with such a great serve. She rolls her second.
That was coming from number 9, Elizabeth Deacon-Poot, the middle, second year, hometown Georgetown, Ontario. Great rally coming here.
And poor communication from that Niagara Knights team. The up from Rachel Rivers. And poor communication between her and the barrel, Shayna Graham, and the first timeout coming in from the Knights.
And you know, Connor, we see on the replay here how there was a lack of communication there. Just the Knights players watching the ball go, and then the frustration coming from, I believe that was number 10, Elena Davis, the outside hitter. But we do have to comment and mention how quickly the game can shift. We saw how the Knights came out attacking quite strong, and then the Hawks coming right back and not panicking in those situations. We can confidently say that, you know, being an 8-time championship team, this is probably not new for them. They know how to put themselves in those tough situations and not panic. So again, this game I think is going to be a little bit of a toss-up from what we have. Just going back and forth all over the place. We have two very competitive teams, like we said.
Absolutely, a lot of time to think in this sport. So momentum, very hard to carry over, and it's very easy to lose. And now we'll see if this timeout did the trick. Maybe they're hoping to freeze Elizabeth at the service line.
And I'd like to point out before the Hawks serve here that number 13, Alexandra Newman, has been quite vocal this entire game on the front line. She's been tremendous orchestrating that front line in constant communication, and what a key point in this game. Knights going for the serve there.
Great swing for number 2, Jordan Kozlowski, the outside hitter. That one off the net, but she manages to find the seam in the block there. So great swing. And there you see it one more time.
And just in, as the Knights now are pressing again. Scoreline standing at 8-6. Hawks over the Knights.
We talked about it. Very hard to keep the momentum going. And now, right off the kill, Jordan Kozlowski, right after getting an ace, puts it in the net. That's the third service error for this Knights team. And you look at the score difference, they find themselves down 3, Mark.
But I think this Knights team does have quite a depth of players. We saw Kozlowski and Davis being quite vocal in them. And we see the transition of play from both players, having great presence up until this point. But the Hawks do currently have the ball.
Burkinic, she's going to try and line up her second ace. Just rolled one there.
Ball's defended by the Knights. Rally going up as dig. And
Big
solid
tool.
strikes coming from the Knights.
Rachel Rivers, the outside hitter, and she goes off the hands of the block. That's a great tool there.
A fantastic strike coming from Rivers, like you mentioned, Connor. Ball's defended by the Hawks. Sending a dig up. And great serve.
And yes, that was number 13, Alexandra Newman, with a great shot back left. That set just a little low, but pushing it there. And Humber right off the get, establishing their middle. That's going to play a big role down the line.
Lethal strike coming from the Hawks there, Connor, as they sent it low to the bottom corners of the court. Ball still in play, punched into play there by the Hawks front line.
Ooh, and a great tip from Bailey Davis.
Difficult one to save there, Connor. I like to always mention that area of the court, the dead man zone. Really can't have anyone blame there, as we see on the replay here. Very difficult ball to get there and defend.
Absolutely.
He just dropped it right in that pocket, and nothing on the Hawks that could have done on that play.
Poor serve receive from the Hawks. This game will be won at the service line, Mark.
Most definitely. Hawks currently sitting 11-8 over the Niagara Knights. And like I said, Connor, again, I think the Knights have been tremendous up until this point by getting those serves right into that dead man zone. Dropping that ball in the middle of the court. But great defense coming from the Hawks here as they're going for that dig. Fantastic serve by the Hawks.
And they roll it to Thalia Hanneman, and they're really going to give it to her until they build a lead. They've established their middle, Alexandra Newman, but when you have Thalia Hanneman, you got to give it to your best scorer on the team.
Well, absolutely. She is the captain of the Humber Hawks, so why wouldn't you want to focus on her? Obviously, the captaincy comes with a lot of responsibility for a club, and yeah, she's definitely one of the most lethal players.
And she rolls her. That's her fourth of the night, I believe, and she has yet to be stopped. So Hanneman really feeling it in this first set. It's such a great vertical on her.
Serve coming from the Hawks. Good attempt there coming by the Knights, but no dice.
And another ace for the Humber Hawks. And another timeout called by the Knights. You can tell head coach very frustrated with the serve receive thus far. And that's where it all starts, Mark. If you can't pass, then you can't run anything effective.
Well, absolutely. And I think it's unsurprising to see that the most pivotal players of this game at the moment are currently Thalia Hanneman and Alexandra Newman, the veteran players of the team. And again, that's why they're there in these tough times to show the rookie, maybe the youthful players, still getting a hang of what it's like to be in varsity sports. And again, I'm not surprised that they have been the most focused, the most impactful during this game. They are veteran players. They were here during those 8-year championships, so they know what to do in these tough situations. And like you said, it's already been a great game. 2 minutes roughly, with the first set coming here, like it's been a fantastic game up to this point.
So that last missed play coming from number 7, Shayna Graham. She's the libero for the Knights team. They're really going to need her to step it up to run that serve receive. She's playing deep 6 at the moment, so she's really going to be trying to take the majority of serves.
And play just about to kick off here. And Newman serving that ball back into play.
Graham with a good pass.
Solid strike there coming from,
I believe that was Linnea Davis.
Yes, thank you for that.
She put that one just long. Well, now Newman with the serve. That's going to be tight. Yep, and over. They're going to call...
I believe the fingertips just went over slightly.
So another unforced error from the Knights.
Hawks retrieve the ball back as Newman prepares to serve that ball back into play.
First missed serve from the Humber Hawks. And of course, missing a serve is never good, but the fact that they have only missed one, especially when you serve in such an aggressive style, that's very good. That's a very good sign for this Humber Hawks team.
Well, absolutely. Connor, we like to always put these athletes out on a pedestal like they're gods, but in the end, they are humans, so mistakes will happen. But play continues here as the Knights are rallying that ball. Struck back into the Hawks' end. Solid defense coming from the Niagara Knights there to block that shot.
Devon Lowe's, the number 9 middle for the Knights with a big block there. Really establishing her presence.
Knights trying to keep that ball in.
Free ball, here we go.
Couldn't go for the spike there, but now the Hawks are rallying back. Nice little trick there from the Hawks. Ball's still in play there by the Knights. A solid spike there from Davis. The ball's just still kept in play by the Hawks. Tremendous defending there from the girls. Fantastic rally going on here, and Hawks evidently convert.
Number 14, Thalia Hanneman. She just gets so high above the block, and she just rips that one down line. really taking advantage.
Tremendous spike here.
Right.
And great communication from the Hawks. We saw a little bit of a trick play there coming from the Hawks, and it eventually worked in their favor. Ball still in play, kept in there by the Hawks.
All right, here we go. Let's see what the Knights can do.
Knights
Free ball.
going for the spike.
Okay, so the Hawks will be called on the net on that block, and so the Knights will get that point.
I think that ball was evidently going to be a Knights point there, Connor. It was one heck of a strike coming from, I believe that was once again the veteran, Linnea Davis. Hawks pushing back up there.
Tough set outside. That one going a bit far outside the antenna, and Hanneman trying to put it back right, but just a little long. But the Hawks with a commanding lead, 18-12. So Niagara.
And that's Devin Lowe's, the native of Oakville, Ontario, setting up for this serve.
And another unforced error on the serve. And if you take away those service errors, this lead gets smaller and smaller. So the Knights really going to want to change that up.
You see an error there coming from the Knights, and a fantastic serve by who else but Natalia Hanneman, the captain of the Humber Hawks.
That's a great floater.
And solid defending there by the Hawks.
Huge block between, that was Brooke Kinneard and Elizabeth Deacon-Poop, really shutting down.
You see on the replay here, great communication coming from the girls. An even better save. What tremendous play.
And danger for this Knights squad. So the last thing they want is Hanneman to get on a serving streak. Oh, and they try to shoot past their mark, but that one just gonna go a bit too fast for Elizabeth Deacon-Poop to put her hand on it.
And again, tough play all around to save. The ball was quite low. Just based on her positioning, it would have been difficult to get that ball just over the net as she was so close to it. But we did see a substitution coming in there from the Niagara Knights. It's number 1 entering the court. That being Stephanie Tardif. Again, local native from Niagara, the Welland area, just a burb outside of Niagara.
Always interesting when coaches bring in players to serve, because there's always the risk they come in off the bench cold. But there you see Stephanie doing her job, forcing the poor pass, which ultimately that's set too far out, and that's going to hit the antenna.
And the Hawks got to be careful with that. There's been a couple plays already called for, like you said, Connor, needless errors, like touching the net, hitting the post. So you got to keep an eye on that.
So far, substitution working. Stephanie rolls her second, but still a 6-point deficit, and the Hawks with 21. They need 4 more points to close out this first.
Score line 21-15 for the Hawks currently.
Big right side swing from number 1, Brooke Kinneard, getting that one-on-one.
And Brooke Kinneard, we have the outside hitter, another veteran of a player, 4th year, native of Hamilton, Ontario, standing at 5'9". She's been fairly important this game, kind of quiet as a matter of fact, but has had her little presence here and there during the match.
And Jordan Koslowski dodging that ball, thinking it was out, but it's going to touch the line. And there you see.
And as a matter of fact, Connor, I think that ball actually just nicked her shoulder slightly, which means the ball would have been in play regardless. So interesting to see that play there.
Excellent, quick, but a great defense from the Hawks.
Ball still in play. Knights going for the spike. Nice flick by the Knights.
Oh, here we go.
Solid defending as rally goes up.
And a pipe ball to Thalia Hanneman. And she was early on that mark. She was reaching back, but again, she puts it in the pot, that area between position 4, 6, and 5. And here we see it reaching back for that. And just what a play from Thalia Hanneman. I mean, just speaks to her athleticism right there.
Absolutely, and there's no reason why anyone would be questioning her captaincy. She just proved it on that play.
So a great middle run from the Knights, but maybe a little bit too late. They find themselves down 8, and it's set point for Humber.
24-16, Hawks over the Knights. Set point, as my co-host Connor had just previously said.
Let's see what they do here, Mark. It's going to be a free ball for the Knights. And a tight set. That's not going to be able to work. And Rachel Rivers puts that into the giant block.
We can see here from the replay, again, solid defending coming from the Hawks girls team. Tremendous block right there.
Set just a bit too long, and Rivers trying to get it with their left hand, but that's not going to work. And just like that, Marker, one set done, 25-16.
Safe finish, Connor, and that first set going to the Humber Hawks. But we do give credit to the Niagara Knights. They put up a tremendous fight, and like we said, right from the get-go, we knew that this was going to be a competitive match. By no means was it going to be a write-off, and we definitely see that from both girls. So second set should be an interesting one. Can't wait to see what it's going to pull for us.
It's going to be very interesting, you know, in this sport especially. Urgency plays a big role. The Knights have that on their side. They're going to come out. They know what they need to fix. And Humber is just going to have to keep playing their game, and we'll see how the momentum changes up.
And like we said, we just saw currently on our screen, Ali Newman, I believe, from the Humber Hawks. And yes, that is correct, number 13, Alexandra Newman, the middle fourth year, and her and Thalaman have been great together this game, constantly in communication with each other. They clearly have been playing with each other the past couple years, and they obviously know each other's style of plays, and we definitely see it. For them, it just comes so natural. Don't you agree, Connor?
Absolutely, and they play in the front, and they play in the front court together. So they definitely have to connect, you know, on blocks when they double, when they triple, they cover each other. So definitely a lot of connection there.
And again, we have a great turnout here tonight at Humber College. Thanking all our fans for coming out and supporting both the girls and men's volleyball team. And we see Talia here, just again, fantastic work from her. The captain sending in that low strike to the bottom of the court. Great job on her part. And just an all-around fantastic communication coming from the girls.
And that's never a good sign for the Knights. They have a lot of errors, but for the most part, that's on them. Service errors, service receive. But the biggest problem for them right now is Thalia Hanneman. She has only been stopped one time, and, you know, that was just on a poor right side swing. They didn't even really stop her. So she has been spectacular this game. Service, swinging, they really need to shut her down because she has really been doing work on them.
Absolutely, and her veteran skills will most definitely execute that. She has found those little areas where she has capitalized on the Knights, a slight lapse in focus. But again, we have two teams that are just coming back from back-to-back wins. This is going to be a make-or-break game for both teams, and I can't wait to see what it's going to be like during this second set, Connor.
All right, so I think we have the same lineup here. It looks like we do for the Humber Hawks. We might see some changes coming from the Niagara Knights. They've been struggling with their serve receive, so we could probably see some changes in their outside hitters. We saw Stephanie Tardif come in near the end of that first to serve, so we could be looking at something similar. Gotta wait and see.
And whistle's blown to get the second set of this Humber Hawks volleyball matchup to continue.
All right, looks like we're good to go. Same starting rotations. I believe service will be given to the Hawks this game. Or excuse me, I believe the Knights might have it. I'm not quite sure.
Just waiting to finalize team lineups. And it looks like we have the libero, number 2 of the Humber Hawks, coming in, that being Kyla Wilkins.
All right, so the Hawks will have first serve. That'll be Brittany Vanderlyn. Standard rotation, you always want to start with 3 hitters in the front court. Speaking of which, it looks like we have Thalia Hanneman as a deep boot.
And a great strike coming there from the Hawks. Taking this first point in the second set.
Riding the momentum from the first. Great down ball from the backcourt. Great fix there from the Knights. Poor passing, but a great right side swing.
A little bit of lack of communication there coming from the Hawks, Connor, as again, looked like could have easily been defended, but nonetheless, point goes to the Knights.
Great pass from Elizabeth.
Solid spike coming from the Hawks there.
And a dime pass coming in from number 1, Brooke Kinneard. And then the middle attack is going to score the second of the second set. Oh! And Elizabeth Degenpoot losing the joust at the net to their setter, I believe.
Great defending coming from the Knights there to block that shot from the Hawks. And again, we can see on both teams having a strong attack line. The girls do know their positions, and they have been blocking shots frequently in this game. I believe that would have been around the 4th or 5th shot blocked in total of this matchup, so looking forward to many more.
Jordan Klosowski is going to swing that long, trying to go off the hands, didn't quite get it.
We see Alexandra Newman coming back into play here. And a great rally going there by the Knights on this previous replay. Just keeping that ball in. A substitution was made as Alexandra Newman came back into play for number 2, Kyla Wilkins. Play resumes. Hawks defending, getting that dig up to go.
Yeah, and that's going to be called against the Knights, interfering with the set from number 5.
And like we said, Connor, again, the Hawks do have to watch that. That's about the 3rd time they've touched that mesh, and they cannot keep on doing that for the rest of the game if they plan to evidently win this match. Play resumes. Play still in that area.
And a great fix from, I believe that was number 4, Bailey Davis. She manages to fix that up off the tip from the block, and she puts it down. So the Knights sticking around here.
Point going to the Hawks there as a nice rally kept up. Again, Alexandra Newman orchestrating the team there. And as we see in this previous replay, Hawks clearly dominating on that spike. Again, low to the bottom corner of the court. Ball still in play here. Setting that ball up. Again, solid defense coming from the Hawks as they dig it. And again, Hawks still going. Ball still in play.
Oh, and she's going to get called for hands there, Brittany Vanderlyn. Ball a little tight, so she's going to get called on the lift there. But a great rally there. You saw a lot of digs off blocks that both teams were able to capitalize off. Great pass from Dahlia Hanneman. But Knights pull it within 1.
Couldn't agree more, Connor. Scoreline currently stands 5-3 Humber over Niagara, with Humber taking the first set.
Free ball for the Knights off that serve. Can they make it work? Trying to establish the middle, and they do so.
And again, tough play there. Vicious spike coming in from the Niagara Knights there. Quite difficult to save on the defense. As we see here on the replay, you can see how the power coming in from that shot. Again, difficult one for the Knights. Or for, excuse me, the Hawks to defend on. Play resumes. Knights serve the ball back in.
Great quick pass from Brittany Vanderlyn.
A nice little flick there coming from the Alexandra Newman. But again, smart job on the Knights to defend that play there. A ball still into play. Rallying it up.
That was a pipe ball from number 13, Samantha Bailey. And she's going to put that one long, a bit too high.
Ball out of play as the Hawks now have the ball. Waiting for the serve. Ball sent into play there.
See ball coming in. Big swing from guess who? It's Dahlia Hanneman.
Fantastic spike coming from the captain. Hard shot low. Difficult to get down and defend on that one. As you see here, solid spike right to the bottom of the court. And again, tremendous play on her part.
Cross-court swing, and she scores.
Great defending by the Hawks.
And that's going to be Alexandra Newman shutting down Devon Lowe's. And this Knights team has really actually been starting to establish their middle. Devon Lowe's has really been getting a lot of touches. But shut down there by Alexandra Newman.
And give credit where credit is due. Great serving coming from Rachel Rivers in the back on that rotation, sending that ball deep into the Knights' end, and eventually paying off there for the Humber Hawks. Hawks currently hold the scoreline 9-5, and this is Adara Dillabo sending that ball back into play. And correction on that, apologies, is Adar Dillabo sending that ball. Nice little flick there coming from the Hawks.
Great read from Alexandra Newman. Recognizing that the ball is a little too low, she was doubled up there, tips it right over the block, and no cover.
And that's veteran play there, Connor. Many players would have gone for the spike, and maybe a rush to play. But again, you don't necessarily need power all the time. You just need a nice little flick, and it paid off for the Hawks.
And there you see Samantha Bailey. She breaks the block. And almost another up from the Humber Hawks, but they're not going to quite get that.
Difficult one to save by the Hawks, but again, great play from the Knights there, sending that low ball, powerful shot into the bottom of the net.
Well, looks like they're going to have to make something work. This is going to be a free ball. See if the Knights can make it work. Trying to go middle, but a bit too low.
Solid defending coming from the Hawks. Ball still in play. And what a spike coming from Alexandra Newman. Oh, excuse me, no, that is Talia Hanneman, I believe. Talia Hanneman, great job on her part.
Number 14, OCAA Women's West Division scoring champion, just going to work.
Talia Hanneman. Ball served back into play, and a great job from the Hawks. That being number 5, Brittany Vanderlyn. Nice little serve there to just drop right in the empty pocket. Like I said, Connor, previously, the dead man zone. Very difficult ball to defend there when that ball drops like that.
Absolutely, right there in the pot. When you run W defense or a cup defense, as some like to call it, there's a big gap in between positions 4, 5, and 6. And that call going to be given to the Knights, but it looks like the head official will review it. So far, call stands that the Knights will be given that point, I believe. And they are going to give it to the Hawks. No touch on the block.
Score line currently stands 13-7, Humber over Niagara.
What a great position to be in. Now you have Britley serving, and you have 3 attackers.
Ball still in play. Great defending coming from the Hawks. And fantastic work by the Humber Hawks. I'd like to just point out Brittany Vanderlyn, and again, she's been tremendous with her serves all match up until this point, Connor. I love the consistency of how she will like to, she often changes the ball. She'll either drop the ball in that pocket or she'll send it to the left side of the court. She'll send it sometimes to the right side of the court. So again, she doesn't have a preference is what I'm trying to get at. And it's great to see how she can be so mobile with her serves on this game.
Absolutely, there's nothing scarier than knowing that the person that's serving to you can put it anywhere she wants, and she keeps them on their toes, she keeps them guessing, and she's been running a really proficient offense. She's keeping everybody involved, establishing her middle, getting Thalia Hanneman involved, and she's been sensational. Got to look at the libero for the Niagara Knights. That would be, Shina Graham off that last play. The poor pass resulting in an outside right side hit, which is an easy block for this front block of the Humber Hawks. So definitely going to need more passing out of her if these Niagara Knights look to pull it back. They find themselves trailing 7, 14-7.
Well, like we said, Connor, the beautiful thing about volleyball is that this game can go either way, and we saw great performance from the Knights in the first set. So again, ladies got to stay focused. They got to keep up going and keep playing their game. But who knows? This is a great game on our hands, and it could go either way. But if the Hawks keep on doing what they were doing, we could see this be very, very consistent play from them, and they could potentially take it. But too early to say as the game resumes.
Poor pass right off the rip, and an easy put down. Middle.
Very close call there, Connor. For a second there, I thought the Hawks may have gone slightly over the net, but the referees did not call it. Fair play, and point given to the Hawks.
And again, it starts with the pass, right, Mark? Right, excuse me. Yeah, it starts with the pass. And a poor pass right there causes the outside swing and hits the antenna. So that's the second straight error we've seen coming in these last few points.
An error committed there by Brittany Vanderlyn, but nothing to take away from her. She's been great and fantastic all game up until this point. Ball now in Niagara's end as a way to serve that, coming from number 8, Rachel Rivers.
Spinner.
Ball still in play, Hawks pressing.
And what a great spinner we just saw there from the Knights, and unable to control that. Brittany Vanderlyn keeping it alive, though. That was a great fix coming off the net.
And you mentioned that spinner, Connor. Again, very difficult on being the receiving team to read that ball. It's kind of like baseball, but where you got that knuckleball coming at you. And again, great job on the Hawks' part to try defending that spinner.
All right, and that spinner generating a free ball. The Knights got to use this. Oh, trying a wraparound.
Ball still in play for the Hawks.
Ooh, and the right side swing from Hanneman. That gets shut down.
Solid defending coming there by the Knights. Again, scoreline becoming thinner and thinner here. Hawks currently sitting 16-10 over the Niagara Knights. Ball kept in play there by the Hawks.
And what a
nice
great
little
tip.
flick.
Elizabeth Deaconpoot with a great tip to the 4 spot. And here we got a replay on that.
And like I said, fantastic read on the ball there, knowing that no one was covering that spot. And again, great eye work from the Hawks, but ball is served out of play as the Knights retrieve this ball.
And this will be Samantha Bailey now serving up. 6-point deficit. Ooh, and a poor pass. And then a lift from Brittany Vanderlyn.
Kudos to both teams here, being very composed as a matter of fact. Just keeping their composure. No one's panicking at the moment. And it's nice to see that, as games can often go one-sided, unfortunately, but not happening tonight.
So we saw a few points rolled off of serves from the Knights, and then Samantha Bailey puts that one out.
Score line currently 18-12 for the Humber Hawks over the Niagara Knights. Ball put back into play here as the Knights rally.
Great play at the net from Newman. They generate a hit.
Ball still in play, great defense. Digging that ball out for both teams.
Left side swing. And that one's going to be long. A great rally there from both teams.
And a difficult one to keep in, being on such a far end of the court there, Connor. You can see very, very tough shot there coming from number 8 of the Hawks, that being Adara Dillabo.
And that one's going to tape the end of the line. So an ace for the Knights, and they've brought it within 4.
And what was I saying before, Connor? This game can go either way, right? Very, very close matchup here on hands, and we're seeing it happen as the scoreline is only set by 4 now. 18-4 Humber over Niagara.
But once again, the momentum killer, the missed serves. And now this lead jumps back up to 5. And let's hope it didn't cost them, because now number 1, Brooke Kinneard, is up to serve. And she's been rolling with it this game.
And again, great job coming from Miss Kinneard. She's been very quiet this game, but once again, having a very crucial role in this starting rotation.
Some touches at the net. And going to be a deep left side swing. Is there going to be a call on that? There is no touch. Going to be 4 hits. And there you see replay on that, no touch. Service error from Kinneard.
Unfortunate to see that, but it does happen as the ball goes back to Niagara. Scoreline 20-15, Hawks over the Niagara Knights.
Tricky spot now, because now that the Hawks have hit the 20 mark, the Knights really got to start rolling. They can't go point for point any longer. And there's something you don't see. Brittany Vanderlyn with the kill. The setter getting up there.
You see here on the previous replay, getting some height there. Not one of the taller players on the team, so it's always great to see that from her. What athleticism, and she's been tremendous serving all match, but fantastic spike on her part.
Standing at 5'6", she is one of the shorter players on the court.
Scoreline 21-15, Hawks over the Knights. The Humber Hawks taking the first set as previously mentioned.
It's going to be Ashley Darach coming in to serve. And another service error.
The third year native of Newcastle, Ontario. And we see Alexandra Newman setting up to go for the serve here.
Not sure what's more dangerous, Newman at the service line, who rolls an ace, or now Thalia Hanneman is in the front row. I don't know which one is worse for this nice team.
Well, from that play there, Connor, we would have to say Alexandra Newman, great serve, and she keeps the ball just in. Fantastic play from her part. And ball clearly out on that one.
Getting a little overzealous there, but no worries. When you got a 6-point lead and you're 2 points from taking the second, you can get a little aggressive. And this Humber squad is going to keep doing what they're doing. Let's see if they can roll a nice pass off this serve.
Ball in play.
Great take.
Hawks going for the spike there. Ball still kept into play. Libero setting that ball up.
And the X from Hanneman, and there she puts it down. And that's what you do when it's crunch time and you want to put it away, you give it to your scorer. And here we got a replay on that. And you see Hanneman coming in from the left side into middle territory, puts that one deep left.
She reads those open spaces so well. And again, great serve there by number 5, that being Brittany Vanderlyn. And the final coming down for that set. The Hawks taking it 25-17. Connor, thoughts?
That set is interesting because we didn't quite see the serve and serve receive take as much precedent as we did in the first, but still, overwhelming play from Humber. Thalia Hanneman has been steamrolling this Knights team. They're really going to need to get her under wraps in the third, but kudos to the Knights team. They have toned down their serve receive errors. They've been great at the line despite the unforced errors, and they have really been drawing these games closer and closer. So let's see if they can regroup after this second and take the third and make this a game.
And I think we have to address the obvious here, Connor, both being Thalia Hanneman and Alexandra Newman, the two veterans of the Humber Hawks, playing exceptionally well this match, and definitely, in my opinion, the two all-stars of the first and second sets. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. As I mentioned before, when you establish your middle like they have done with Alexandra Newman, it opens up everybody. We haven't seen Brooke Kinnear too much because, frankly, she hasn't been needed when you have Newman and Hanneman doing all the offensive work, but that presence in the middle and outside on the left has made it easier for her on the right, and it's made it so much easier and harder for this Knights defense and the Humber offense.
We talked about those open spaces. I think both teams have been tremendous in keeping very tight with each other during this matchup. However, Thalia Hanneman, the captain of the Humber Hawks, has been great in exposing those weaknesses. Her vision, in my opinion, for those strikes and those spikes, into those open pockets has been great. She's been on the right side of the court, sending balls into the left. She's been on the left, sending balls into the right. So it's been great all around volleyball, and I can't wait to see what the third and fourth sets hold for us, if there happens to be a fourth set.
Absolutely. The way it's playing right now, it looks like Humber will ride the momentum and put it away. Hanneman, she can get so high above the block when she opens up. She can see, does she have line? Do they have a seam in the block? Will she go cross court? She's been doing it all. And she has been really effective going up against this smaller block. Got to take into account that the setter for the Niagara Knights, I believe that is number 4, Bailey Davis, is only 5'7", so really taking advantage of that height differential, especially when Davis can only jump off of 2 feet, and she's just been ripping it apart.
And we can see the team's been very, very active over the season. A lot of spikes coming from both teams, so they are attacking teams, really going for those shots here. And can't wait for the third set to begin, as it looks like the girls are back onto the court. At least the Hawks are. Prepping and doing a quick pre-talk.
Absolutely. They just got to keep doing what they're doing and go out and handle their business.
And it is a little interesting, Connor, how the Hawks have been playing great, fantastic all game. And we'll see the great work being performed by there. But again, we have to mention Thalia Newman. Just looking here at the replay, she's been great all match.
And that shot gets dug, but it just speaks to her athleticism to get that ball through when she's leaning back and she has the strength to push that. And there you see the X just a little bit inside, so she's got to reach, but putting it deep 6. And that was number 2, Jordan Poslowski, reading left, and she cuts it right.
And again, I'd like to point out Kyla Wilkins, the libero for the Humber Hawks, has been great all game as well, really playing that central position of the court, kind of I guess being the organizer, if that's an appropriate term to classify it as, organizing your entire team and being there in those pivotal moments when that ball could enter the center. Haven't seen that same play coming from the Niagara Knights as libero, but however, maybe taking a different approach.
Absolutely. Shaina Graham has had a little bit more difficulty than the libero for the Hawks, Kyla Wilkins. She's dealing with tougher serves. Just take that in consideration. But Kyla Wilkins has really been running the defense and the serve receive very well, running that back line, coming in for her middles, and especially watching the pot on tips in between that 4, 3, and 5 spot when you run a deep serve receive. So she's been sensational.
Absolutely, Connor, and it looks like gameplay is quickly going to begin here with the great sounds of Mr. Justin Bieber playing over through the speakers.
Absolutely, he's back. He's back.
He is
It's been
back.
a long time coming.
Doing quite well in the Billboard charts from what I hear.
He is. First time, I believe, was it 3 Canadians or 4? I think
Four.
it was 4.
Four
yeah.
Canadians in the top 5.
It was The Weeknd, Drake, the Biebs, and who was number 4?
Shawn Mendes.
All right,
Shawn
all right.
Mendes. But besides those gentlemen, we have some other fine Canadians here with us tonight, and these have been the ladies of Humber and Niagara, as the third set is quickly set to begin.
Now they're going to start with Jordan Klosowski, the outside hitter, serving.
And the Hawks rally that ball. Ball currently in play. Knights going for the spike here.
Establishing the middle right off the first swing.
And great little rally there coming from the Niagara Knights. That being number 9 of the Knights, Devin Lowe's, converting that point there.
Establishing that middle is really going to make it easy. But again, the momentum killer. You roll the first point, you can get something going, and then you blow that serve long, especially a floater. You've got to keep those in if you want to stick around.
And you mentioned the floaters, Connor, and we've seen a couple of them this game. So difficult to serve that ball from the back end and get it to drop. These servers really got to be careful with those because you can blow points very easily giving the ball back on those little careless mistakes.
And right there, Thalia Hanneman ripping it through the seam between number 9 and 10, Devon Lowe's and Linnea Davis. Linnea Davis, she had quite a showing in that first set, but she's been quiet recently. The right side hitter for the Niagara Knights was really doing work.
She was right at the first couple of serves there in the first set. She came out hard, but has tapered off a little bit. But who knows? You may see her explode back onto the scene in this third set. Hawks currently hold a lead 2-1 in the third set. And standing at 5-6, this is Brittany Vanderlyn serving that ball back into play.
And that set just a little bit too off the net from Bailey Davis. And that swing a little low. So the Knights definitely going to have to fix up their offense, but it all starts with this pass, something they've been struggling with all season. That is no secret. We pointed that out from the start. And linesman's going to call it out.
And again, smart play there by number 2 of the Niagara Knights, that being Jordan Koslowski. Very, very smart play there to let that ball go out of play, as was quite close. Could have very easily gone for the ball, but chose not to. Ball in play there by the Hawks.
And Hanneman goes off the hands and out, so she scores again. And now she'll be up to serve. Always a very tough rotation when you have your left side on the right side stacking with the setter, and you have your right side hitting from left side. But then Hanneman, really proficient swinging from the outside hand. And now she rolls another one.
And just to change course there a bit, Connor, I'd like to point out number 5 of the Niagara Knights, Jasmine Thome, the middle blocker, has been quite impactful for the Knights during this game. She almost blocked Hanneman's shot there, and I find that she's been really lethal regardless of scoreline on defense. So again, great job on her part, and definitely playing up that role here.
Woo! That's that big block we've seen all night long. Brooke Kinneard and Elizabeth Deacon-Pook.
And we again, great defense there by Deacon-Pook, blocking that shot with the power coming in so strong there. Great way for them to put their hands up and just block that shot. As the girls do have a timeout currently, both teams reevaluating their current play and form. But the scoreline stands 8-2 Hawks in the third set. And Connor, thoughts on this set so far? We've seen both teams can roughly been evenly matched in this third set.
Absolutely, they have been, but 8-2 for the Hawks, and they've started to run away with it recently. That part on the part of Hanneman, but so far a team effort in the beginning. We'll probably see Hanneman and Newman really show their colors in the later parts of this set to put it away. But a great team effort from this Humber Hawks team. Serve receive, they're really starting to click now, and the Knights with that timeout hopefully figure something out.
Well, the girls get back onto the court, and we see here from this previous replay, again, great positioning on the court by Talia Hanneman with a fantastic serve there, just nicking the arm of Koslowski of the Niagara Knights.
And that was right off of scoring from the right side swing, so let's see if she makes it another one. Timeout works, it ices her, and she puts it long.
Ball out of play on that, but again, nobody's perfect. So the ball is given back to the Niagara Knights. As that is
Great pass.
Linnea Davis of the Knights serving the ball there.
That's a great pass from Kyla Wilkins. Ball did tip tape, but nonetheless, a great pass, allowing a great outside swing for Adara Dillabo. And she puts that one off the hands and out. Great tool.
Hawks waiting to serve the ball here.
All right.
That
so
being
now-
Elizabeth Deacon Poot, number 9.
And Newman in the front now, so we can expect to see some touches from her.
Rally going here by the Knights. Spike by the Knights.
Great swing coming in from number 8 of the Knights. I believe that was Rachel Rivers. It was a big swing from her. Ball very high up.
We can see here on the replay, again, great momentum to get herself really high up, like you said, Connor, and spike that ball low down.
Rivers with a really proficient spin serve. She hasn't missed yet.
And that has been her trademark this entire game, serving the ball. A little bit, you said, that spinner coming in, and it looks like the Hawks have had difficulties retrieving that ball, but they keep the rally going here. As the Knights keep on going, ball still in play. Spike coming from the Hawks. Knights keep the ball in play, and again, another spike coming in by there from
Great
Kozlowski.
dig.
But solid job by the libero of the Hawks.
Okay, here we go, the joust for the point. And that is won by Brooke Hinyard. Big height advantage there.
Impressive rally by both teams there. What great performance of volleyball. Ball consistently being in play, a lot of pressure, but point evidently goes to the Humber Hawks.
Oh, that one gonna skim tape, and it's gonna fall in the pot. Rachel Rivers can't quite get a touch on it.
You always get a little nervous, Connor, on those ones, but it hits the net mesh there just slightly. A little lucky for the Hawks, but nonetheless, point given. 11-4 for the Humber Hawks over the Niagara Knights in the third set of play here.
And the Knights getting a little favor in return. That one slipping over the net, dropping in the pot previous play, and now she puts it out.
We see number 9 of the Niagara Knights coming into the court, that being Devin Lowe's.
And that was number 8 for the Humber Hawks, Adara Dillabo. She reads that set just a little low, and she puts it back left corner. Always difficult for left side hitters to guard the left side swing because they have the entire back row, so they got to read whether it's cross or line, and right there, a great swing.
Solid spike there coming from Niagara against the Hawks. Devin Lowe is being lethal immediately as she steps onto the court with a powerful strike there, low and hard. Both teams separated by 6 points currently.
And that's a tough swing for Hanneman. Jumping from the attack line, she was way off the net, and that's an easy block for that Knights team right here. We see a replay on it. Yeah, the pass up, and she's only got one place to go, so that's an easy block for Linnea Davis and Devin Lowe's.
Great communication there coming from the Hawks. Again, no spike needed as a slight little flick of the ball.
And that's the experience we've been seeing, the ability to recognize the gaps in the defense, and I believe that was Newman catching the defense sleeping.
And tough save there for the Hawks as the points goes to the Niagara Knights. Hawks stand 13-8 over Niagara Knights. Ball in play. Hawks going for the spike.
And there you go. Nice high swing. Gets outside. And when Thalia Hanneman has all her options, she's going to score. High cross-court shot. Easy point.
Great spike coming there from Brooke Kinyard, as a matter of fact. And again, nice way to get herself involved in the game there.
Almost a block there from the Humber Hawks, but hands just facing outside, and they take advantage of that, and the Knights score on that. Great swing, great outside swing.
Great job there coming from number 8 of the Knights, Rachel Rivers. Really communicating with her team there, trying to get the momentum back onto their side. Ball sent to play, Hawks are rallying.
All right, now this needs to be a conversion for the Knights. Oh, but they put a free ball over, so here we go. Trying to shoot.
Nice little flick there coming from the Hawks.
And that's something you don't want to see if you're the Niagara Knights head coach. You know, as we see the replay here, that shoot pass a bit too high, and Elizabeth Deaconpoot just gets a tip on it. You have to recognize that if she's not going to put that anywhere else.
Dropping that ball into the open dead man zones there, but game ball in play. And a difficult spike there by Davis, but no good.
That's the first time we've seen her in a while, so.
And we see substitution was just recently made by the Knights with Devin Lowe stepping out, and again, little confused by that decision. She's been tremendous all game, Connor, so wondering what's going through the head of the Niagara Knights coaching staff here.
Well, they find themselves trailing 6 points right now, especially in the third set. If it's not working, you got to try something new because this game is coming down to the end.
Leona Davis serving that ball into play.
Ooh, it's going to be tight.
And you called it, Connor. A little bit of a weak play there. Looked like, I believe that was Brittany Vanderlyn, slightly out of position, swinging for that ball or leaning back on it.
That's a really tough set to make.
Hawks have the ball here.
And again, it starts with the pass. Pass too far off the net results in a outside hit.
Solid block there by Jasmine Thome.
Easy block when you can only go one way.
And we see the scoreline slowly creeping up here, 16-12. Hawks over the Knights currently in the third set.
All right, all three options. Kenya, that's off the net, but a great swing from Brooke, reaching back for that one. Great swing from the right side hitter.
And we see the veteran Alexandra Newman coming back into play. But to your point, Connor, great serve there coming from the Hawks. Very simple dig right there. And nothing fancy, but just low, hard to the ground, and worked out for the Hawks. Ball in play here. And a solid spike coming there from number 8, Rachel Rivers of the Niagara Knights. But ball still in play. A little bit of rally going here. Difficulty keeping that ball in.
And that's just a communication error. A great dig from the Hawks. Hammond puts it over with an easy down ball, but that pass just a bit too far for Bailey Davis, the setter for the Knights, to get to, which results in 4 touches.
An error there by the Humber Hawks, that being number 8, Adara Dillabo. Niagara currently has the ball.
Even despite the misserve, you can still see the smiles on this Hawks teams. They're relaxed, they're chill, and they're gonna rebound right off the mistake. Don't quite do it there though. They lose that point off the tough serve though. I believe that was Rachel Rivers, her spinner. She has been consistent with that.
And it is interesting to see that, Connor. Like I said before, it is giving the Hawks some difficulty, but they have been holding their own, so the ball is currently in play.
It's a great stop on Newman.
And a nice little lob there coming from Leanna Davis, and it eventually played off for them. You can see a little bit surprised from her reaction there, but it worked nonetheless.
Absolutely. I don't think that's where she wanted it to go, but she manages to catch Kinneard off of her T defense.
And again, luck is a part of this game, so sometimes you got to be lucky, and Davis acknowledging that, but it did work out for the Knights. Scoreline standing 19-15, excuse me, the Hawks over the Niagara Knights. Very close game here on our hands. Could go either way very quickly.
And here we go.
And spike there going from Kozlowski, but out of bounds.
All right, so the Hawks hitting that 20 mark. We saw this exact same score, which ended 25-17, I believe. So this is where they got to make it happen. If they can bring this game within a few points, they have a chance at winning this third set, but they're going to have to bring it back 5 to tie this up at 20-20.
Well, Connor, this is definitely the make or break right now. Like you said, Hawks currently leading the Niagara Knights 20-15. And again, this set has been, you'd like to think, evenly balanced, but the Hawks have been very, very, very lethal this entire matchup, both in the first, second, and third set. I find that the Hawks did come out strong in the second and third sets, and that's what it has helped out for them. Niagara did come out very strong in the first set. However, they have taken the foot off the pedal here a bit, but they have come back, and we still have a 5-point game. So let's see what the remainder of this third set has for us.
Absolutely. This is the third set, so fatigue obviously going to be playing a role now, and it's got to be demoralizing being down 2 and finding yourself trailing 5 with only 5 points to go for the home team to take it all.
And the girls make their way back onto the court as the Hawks are waiting to serve the ball.
And that's going to be a free ball. Easy take.
A nice little tip there coming from the Hawks. Again, right into that pocket.
Nice tip from Brittany Vanderland. Changing it up.
Brooke Kinyard sending that ball into the Knights' end. A solid spike there by number 5, Jasmine Thome. But again, ball still in play. Great defensive work by the Humber Hawks.
Great rally there. We saw a great dig from Kyla Wilkins, which gave the Hawks another opportunity to score. But I believe that was in fact Kozlowski with a nice little roll shot down line.
Number 5, Jasmine Thome, waiting to serve the ball here. Ball in play.
Great
Kept
hustle
in play there. Ball still going. Great defense from both teams. Hanneman spikes that ball.
They're going to set her up again. Oh, a bit too low, bit too low. We saw the block in the previous rally. Big
Great
block.
defense by Newman there.
And they should be going to, oh, yep, the wraparound.
And just nicked there by Davis. Great rally, Connor.
Great rally. We saw defense from both teams. A lot of hustle play at the very beginning of that rally to keep this ball alive for the Hawks. Try going to Hanneman a few times, but ultimately Newman with the wraparound is going to put that deep left, and Linnea Davis just couldn't get quite a touch on it.
22-16, Hawks over the Knights. And we see currently
Substitution, that's number 18, I believe, Deborah Mitchell. She's going to come in.
first time she's actually appearing in this match, I believe, and a great serve from her.
There you go. And you just feel the energy coming from this Hawks team. You see the smile, you see the upbeat posture, but when you look at this Knights team, they really got to pull something special out of their
Number
hats.
18, Deborah Mitchell, being the fifth year, the most veteran player on the team. So great to see her make some game time right now and play in the third set. Keeping that ball in by Mitchell.
They're going to run her again.
Solid defending there.
And that block between Hanneman and Newman, the two players of the game thus far, and they shut down Devon Lowe's.
And here's the game, Connor, as the scoreline hits 24-16 Hawks to Niagara. So this is it for the Hawks. Will it go their way? And great spike there by the Hawks. Who else? Number 14, Talia Hanneman, the captain. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Humber Hawks defeating the Niagara Knights in all three sets, with this last set being 25-16 Humber.
So that is now the 15th straight set that this Humber Hawks team has won. In their first match, they won it 3-2. I believe it was against Sheridan. I'm not quite sure. But regardless, they have won every single one of their games since then. 3-0. They beat Fanshawe. They've beaten some of the biggest rivals in their division. They are 6-0 without question. one of, if the most dominant team in the division right now. They are just clicking on all cylinders.
And Connor, you beat me to it. This pushes the Humber Hawks women's volleyball team to 6-0 this season. What a record. But again, do give credit to Niagara College. They were coming into this match as quite competitive contenders. They're sitting third in the division currently. However, this game does go Humber's way, but what a great game all around. I think we have to address the two all-stars of the game, Talia Newman, the captain, and Alexandra Newman, the veteran players. What do you think about their performance this game, Connor?
It's unbelievable. You just look at the stats right here. Thalia Hanneman had 13 kills on the night. Ali Newman, she had 5. And just the numbers speak for themselves. They have done quite a lot. But furthermore, you got to look past the stats and just look at the leadership these two provide, the energy they bring to this team, keeping everybody upbeat. And when it's crunch time, when they need a point, those two are going to come through. Defense, serve, receive.
We're ready.
They do it all.
Well, we do have Natalie, that's courtside. Natalie, what do we have to say?
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm joined by Ali Newman. Ali, congratulations on the win and keeping the undefeated streak alive, but how does it feel to take another loss on Niagara, who also had 5 wins going into this game?
It feels good. It feels good that we got the win, but it also feels good that we played well. We did what we wanted to do. Our goal is to focus on our side, and I think we're happy with the way we played and not just the win.
Now, I spoke to Thalia before the game, and she said that serving was very important in today's match against Niagara. How many, the amount of service aces that you guys put up today, do you feel like we executed?
Yeah, I definitely feel like we executed, especially in the first set. We got, I think, about 8 aces. It's all about focus. So if we know we're serving well on the baseline, we know we're focused for the rest of the game.
Now, keeping that streak alive at home, how does it feel going home tonight with that win?
It feels great. It feels good. It always feels good, but it feels better again to win with your team and to play well and just happy with how we played.
Of course. Thank you very much. We'll see you next match. Back to you guys.
And what a great job there by Newman. She said focus, and what a key aspect of the match. Don't you agree, Connor?
Absolutely. She was great, and they played a fantastic game. And I believe we have another one coming up.
We do. We have the men's teams, as a matter of fact, Niagara Knights versus the Humber Hawks. But we're going to see a couple of highlights here from the match. And again, this Humber Hawks team has been tremendous all season. Now 6-0. But we will see you soon, shortly, for the men's game. Thank you for tuning in with us. I'm Mark DeLuca.
I'm Connor Forrest.
And see you guys soon.